Okay, in the last part we did some UI treatment, and we're going to continue that trend in this one. This is, I believe, part 8. So current branches are all on GitHub if you want to check those out. I actually just merged part 7 now. I'm kind of doing a few at once. So out of the previous video, I kind of built out the front page as well as like an initial V1 of what the listings could be. We're going to get to the part where there's developers in the stack. For now, I'm going to focus on the job entirely. And then we'll kind of move to the developer side where you can add your account and kind of just follow people and stuff on there maybe. I'm not quite sure how that will work, how simple it will be versus how hard it will be. But there's some room there to kind of continue on. I think in this part, we've got the index taken care of. So this index can be used anywhere in the app. We can render it as a partial, assuming we have a collection of jobs to render. It contains quite a few things in terms of what type of work it is, the company, the title of the job, the salary, years of experience, and the location, or what I'm calling headquarters. Also, if it's full-time or remote. Some of these are going to be relative to the compensation type or the job type. In this case, contract's going to have more than 100 hours, but that wouldn't apply to a job that's full-time, which is assuming probably 40 hours a week or something like that. So that's all to say there's more work to do there, and I wouldn't call it final, but it's close. So we have our master branch here. I pulled it down. I'm going to go ahead and create a new branch called part 8. So git check out branch part 8. And there we go. And this one I'm going to go and basically work on the show view. Since we have an image on this particular job, I'll focus on this one. The show is going to be quite simple, but also just one that's going to have more context, more content heavy, just relative to the job descriptions and whatnot. So let's grab the template and start working on that. I'm going to close out some of these windows. Probably just go to show. And we've got our basics already thanks to the scaffolding, but we're going to basically remove all the cruft from this and start fresh. So I will start by cleaning that all up. So some of this stuff we can kind of mimic from our index where we did some conditional logic around the compensation type. Among other things. We're probably going to unload a lot more data in regards to the job on this view, like the link to apply, for example, the company, etc. So that's just something to keep in mind. Remove edit for now, or back for now. Edit can be maybe if author of job. I have this helper in the application helper, or just an admin user. So only those two people should be able to edit this, assuming it's published. So we might as well wrap everything in a container tag to start. So container, give it some padding, and then on the large, we'll give it quite a bit. So px24, maybe some offset on top and bottom on larger screens. And we could just go preview that. I'm going to have to pull in more data, of course, for what this is. But yeah, I think I'll steal some of it from here. Just throw that at the end for now. We've got the @ sign on all these, so we'll use that for the instance variable. Oops. We go, and that'll give us something to go off of there. We don't need to display remote there. Years of experience is taken care of. The range is taken care of. We've got the compensation type outputting as well, so full-time this. And then the description will be one I might use for the Tailwind plugin. That's pretty new. Typography. I could go ahead and do it all myself in the CSS, but honestly, I'm using Tailwind to do some of that stuff for me. So we might as well go ahead and install it. I'm going to go to the docs real quick. And I think it's called like typography, Tailwind typography. So how do you install it? First party plugin. Is it on GitHub? It is. Yarn add. I think I'm in the right directory. We'll find out. Yep, okay, cool. So that adds that to our dependencies. Now we need to establish the connection with our configuration. And I believe it's within the plugins we just passed this in, right? Yeah, we require it there. And I think that's all I really need then, right? I just need to use this pros class, whatever the hell that means. And see what happens. So for the descriptions is where I'm going to really do it. So pros. Oops. And we need the actual description. So pros. Okay. Okay. Let's add like a shit ton more content just to give it some realness. This was all the faker gem, I believe. We'll do like a link to whatever. We're not going to have all these controls, like the attachment one I don't really want, or the code, whatever. We can. What's sad is you can't just like disable them with tricks. In the action text, you just have to like display none on the button, which is kind of annoying. But whatever, I guess. Hopefully there's some niceties coming to that. So like in this case, like I can't even tell what's a link there, so I'm gonna have to add some styles for that, which is pretty annoying. But as it outputs, you see it's doing its thing. It looks like the styles are coming down the pipe and everything too, so that's good. For whatever reason, they use break tags instead of p tags, so I don't know. Shit. I might have to extend this class, to be honest. So if we go, because if you see, that's one level deep, and then I've got a div wrapping around that one. But if I can call tricks content specifically, I can outline that. So maybe we'll do that and try it. I'll just put it in forms for now. So tricks content at apply pros. I don't know if this will work. Cannot apply pros because pros is included in multiple rule sets. Okay, that sucks. I guess this plugin assumes it's markdown content, which I understand, but it's a shame you can't apply it to the stuff that you want to apply it to. Like tricks, for instance, does not output markdown, it outputs HTML, so I guess, I don't know, it should work in theory. It's weird. Okay, I guess I'll remove this for now and revisit that. Come on. What now? There. I mean, it looks okay. We'll leave it for now. I don't know that it's actually even doing much of anything, to be honest. But let's keep it as is and just kind of get the data intact. So we can say like each one in this case will be I don't know, pulling that out of nowhere. And font black. Right on. And this could probably be, I don't know, a little nicer to look at on the width. Yeah, we probably want to like have this a little more central. I have the container here, which is fine, but we probably want something that's a little more fancy. Trying to think what this could look like. So on the container, we can have like a flex. I want to have some pagination kind of thing. So if it's within a specific tag or something, we could display it. Maybe they can be linkable, or maybe it's the next job or the previous job or something. I'm trying to think how this could work. For one, let's do first the back to all jobs, so a utility link. I'm gonna just make this like, I'm assuming there'll be a link on the right side too, so justify between. Probably fill this in. I'm gonna probably put a border on mobile, and I'm gonna link to the jobs path. So the root path in this case, we could just say that. And margin bottom, I don't know, 4. Inline flex. Items center. I'm going to use the icon with this back button. Justify start. Do. Render SVG. I don't have this in yet, but I'll get it. So icons, chevron, left, styles. I don't know. It's probably a stroke current with text gray 600. And then we could just have like the P class. Something like that initially. It's not going to look awesome, but so this needs to come around. I think I'm going to do like a grid fashion in this case. So that's going to be a wider container. And this one won't. So grid calls 1 will be the default, but then on the large screens we'll make it 1 at 12. Use a 12 column grid. And padding top 6 maybe. So in the first container we can have like let's see. Let's do that first, and then large call span 8, kind of like a sidebar orientation. It's gonna have like everything here, and then over here we'll have like a sidebar element, maybe like a preview of the logo and stuff. We'll see, leave that for now. Okay. So that's there. We need a way to make this center though. So I think I need to do, yeah, there we go. Justify between. If I just do like this, is it gonna shoot to the left? Nope. Oh, it's because I don't have the icon yet. Let's add the chevron icon. I use the app called Nucleo. It's kind of just where I keep my icons, so I don't have to go scour the web every time. Most of the time I use Zondicons. It's by Steve Shoger. It just works for most of my needs, so props to him. If I had time to design icons, I feel like I would, just to get something out there that I would prefer to use, but it's not a huge, it's a huge undertaking is what I mean. So chevron left. While I'm here, I'm going to put the chevron right as well, because reasons. So we'll just go grab that. Now this app, for whatever reason, Nucleo adds its own little group and fill class, and it's annoying as hell, but I just deal with it by removing it. But other than that, it's a pretty nice app. So now we have that icon. It should render on the page if I spelt everything right. So chevron icons. Cool, there we go. So that's definitely way too dark. And I think it's expecting a fill current. So that's one thing. There we go, okay. I wonder if I can just do, will it fall back to like a default? Nope. That'll work. I might make this small though. So nice. If we do, we've got our group class now. If we do like group hover on both of these, we could just do like text gray, whatever the darker one would be. In this case, it would be 700. This would be 600. So now when you hover over the whole thing, everything changes instead of one each one. And this will just take you back here. So I think that's necessary. It's not like do or die, but it's a nice to have. Maybe eventually we'll have like a tag cloud or something on the sidebar. I'm not sure, but I think this will be a good spot to display like a little widget preview of maybe the logo if they have it, this company name and whatnot. So maybe links apply for it. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, that'll be a button. I'm sticking with teal for now. I don't know if I want it, but it seems to work. Button expanded. I've got this class that makes it go full width. That doesn't look good though, so let's leave it alone. Probably do text center on this whole thing. And let's just display like a boundary. So P4, BG, gray 100, rounded. Something like that, just to give it some contrast. And we could say that could probably be a sticky. So if you scroll, if it's a long listing, maybe we can do that. And like margin top. Text, let's just set a default text gray for everything. Here we could display the logo. So we'll say if job company logo dot attached. Let's do a, I want to center it, I think. So we'll say justify center, do it like a hackly way. Hackly, did I invent that word? Probably. W16, it's kind of what we're using on the other page. Maybe give it some margin, text center for grins. And then the image tag. Variant. Probably don't need the whole size of the default image, so we can resize to fit. And we'll do 200 again. And then flex shrink 0. Rounded full. We want object cover, just in case it's a weird shaped image, and we'll center that. So you can set the object to center and set the width of full, height to 16, so it just scales. Given that border black, assuming it might be a white image, sometimes you want that contrast. Company logo. There we go. Cool. All right. Maybe a border, perhaps. I don't know. Let's add some. I don't know, some margin there just in case. On mobile, we'll want that, I think. Maybe we'll add some gap to this just to give it some offset. Start with that, kind of push things off. Okay, link to apply is already there. We don't need it over here then. Unless we want to double down on that button, which might make sense just so you don't miss it. So that's maybe like right here. Oops. Cool. I'll leave this there. Might move it up under the title. It's kind of like the metadata of the. This isn't. Why does it have no hours? Okay, so this shouldn't be. Let's make this one full time. There we go. Maybe below that I'll add some padding of like just a basic border. And we could say like 3, padding bar 3, even it out. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I don't know. This will 100% change. Let's say about the role, maybe here. Maybe this will be like a very tiny text, small font, bold, uppercase, tracking wider, text gray, like I don't know, 500. That is huge, so apparently that's preset for whatever reason, so maybe we won't have a heading. Damn it. Oh, well, okay, we could do that. We'll just do it above the pros class because it's trying to mess with it. There we go. Maybe a little touch darker on that. Some margin. And that's too much margin. Cool. And I don't like this border now. There we go. And perhaps we'll go dark with that just so it stands out. Yeah. And cool. We'll do the same for this one. And this one will have some margin top. Maybe quite a bit. Sweet. Okay. I'm going to come back to this on the right. For now, I'm going to just kind of focus on what should be displayed over here. We've got the company name. Maybe I'll put it just kind of above the title, but smaller. Kind of like we did on the front page. So text, we'll start with base, text gray, 600. Yeah. Sweet. And this way, we will, on the company name, we'll actually link to their website. These are going to be like required fields, so I'm not doing a lot of conditional checking around this because I'm going to go ahead and assume it's going to be in the database. So instead of this on the p tag there, we can just throw it on the link, I think. And then we could set a hover state so it's kind of obvious it's a link. Cool. It goes to Google. The title probably doesn't need as much margin. Could probably be bigger even. Yeah, but it's gonna wrap. I think 4 is fine. Cool. These kind of feel bold. Maybe I'll do one touch less dark. Yeah, it's a little softer. Okay, now after this, let's add some margin. And I think that's pretty decent. Okay. I might make these kind of stand out a little more like I did on the front page, PX a decent amount. It's a little too bold. Leave that be. Okay. I'm still not sold on these colors, but for now, I think we'll leave it as is. In fact, I think these might be good candidates for red. I really dislike red buttons because they present danger, but man, it just works for this site, so yeah. Okay. Let's add perhaps a stroke to this. It's kind of looking too bland to me. Maybe like real bold. Boom. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, so we've got the company. Maybe we could just do like a little preview of the right. So we've got the image. If that's attached, we can add like the company name. Kind of repeating what's on the left, but in a scannable fashion is the way I'd describe it. So the company name kind of gonna just follow suit what I had wherever it was right here. And we could do the link to thing again. The title can be bolder, but just like maybe large in size. Yeah. I might remove. Actually, I'll just leave this one. I'll say text black, just so it's obvious. What are we doing for the title here? It's text. Maybe text gray. Yeah, we're kind of doing that. Okay. And then below that, we could say just a summary here. So something like so. Maybe in a more like just list fashion. So what's it doing now? Full time. Okay. So let's just, instead of it being like inlined, we'll just break. And get rid of these. Nice. I think that works. Maybe we'll do XL here. And just add some padding. And also go down there. Okay. And it needs some offset, some margin bottom like 2. And then the same for the main container. I think the padding, we've got some basic padding around it, but I think a little more might be worthy. Cool. Something like that, I think, is okay. We might make this that. Go back to jobs. Maybe I'll make that link red to kind of balance the red on the page. I'm not sure. Oops. There we go. Nice. Find a job, takes you down here, goes there, you apply for this role. Let's add some margin at the very bottom of this to like, I'm gonna make a lot, like 24. We'll just put margin top. We'll get mobile in better state coming up, but for now, I think we're good. I might also make this block level, just so it scoots down below the role, and we could just do like margin top 6. Only people that are going to see that are the person who created it or the admin, which would be me probably. Right on. So if I edit this and add a ton of content, just update that. We've got this sticking to the top now, which is kind of nice. I might do something to keep it off the top of the browser, but all in all, that's working well. Very cool, guy. All right, very cool. It looks like, for whatever reason, the compensation type or whatever isn't persisting like it should. And I'm wondering why. We got, probably because we're not passing it through. So compensation type. Oh, we are. Okay. Let's go to our, oops, schema on the job. I just want to like do this on a 2-up screen. Got company name, company logo, company website, company description, estimated hours, if it's featured or not. We'll do that in the controller. Featured until, we'll do in a background job, headquarters, link to apply, price will be background. We won't really need it here. Yeah, we will. Published at, yeah, remote / slug, status, title, upsell type, years of experience. This one's going to be all from the JavaScript side. Created at, updated at, user ID. Okay, so seemingly that's working, but why isn't that saving? So like if I go back, if I go full time, save, refresh the page, does it go away? No, it's saved. Go to the home page back here. Yeah, I think I was just out of whack for a second. So when I saved it, if I don't edit this, it goes back to contract by default. So I need that to mount as the compensation type. I feel like the form isn't what's being hooked up. So form compensation type should actually be not options for select, but something else. Yeah, let's just do job. Does this work? Okay, yeah, okay. And in this case, we need an empty array there. And now it should be set up to be persistent. I had that wrong, which is why I was going back to contract every time. So that makes sense now. All right, guys. So I think that wraps up this particular video. I'm trying to keep these under an hour. I know that's a long time, but I'm doing this step by step the whole way. And I think leaving out the tidbits where I struggle are like, I don't want to leave those out is what I'm getting at. So I hope this is useful. I hope you enjoyed the concept so far. Lots to do in the terms of design and UI and whatnot, but for now I think we're getting there. We've got the main data and kind of the look and feel going. I think next is the time, maybe besides getting the user navigation going, like these look bad. Besides that, I will start on the job form itself, which is gonna be a doozy. So I hope you're ready for that. I actually built something similar to it before recording this series, so I'm gonna either be referencing it or at least stealing some ideas from it to take in to account. So with that, I'll see you in the very next part. Peace.